What color is your brain scan? This is a shout out, of course, to Andrew Tate. And he's been somebody wonderful, I think, to listen to. There are very few people that I will listen to because, to be honest, I pretty much know everything about everything. So he's been interesting because he's given a little bit of a fresh perspective compared to anybody else you can listen to. So what color is your brain scan basically means I have meditated for over 10,000 hours, way, way back. In fact, I invented my own meditation method. I knew about things like brain plasticity. I knew with intention, focus, practice, and effort, you could actually change the functioning of your brain. So once I started to do that, I continued and continued and continued, and I started to get these little glimpses of ecstasy. That was the best way to describe it. Absolutely beautiful piece, and it would just disappear. Just it would come on and it would go. So what I would do is I would continue and focus and focus and focus. And what happened is I was able to build up that level of feeling, which is something they call spiritual bliss. I was able to have it all the time. The only way I could stop it was with chew, and that would turn off the feeling. So I got in touch with a neuroscientist at NYU who was actually a Buddhist monk in the 80s. And I said, look, I've done this meditation practice, kind of thinking maybe I've overdone it because I cannot turn this feeling off. And he was very almost unimpressed because he said, yeah, that's just a stage that you get to that happens to people. It's called spiritual bliss, which I knew, but he's like, you're in a state of permanent bliss. So I said, well, is there any way to show this on an MRI scan? And he said, yeah, I'll put you in as part of a study. So that's what he did. So the only way I could stop the feeling was to chew. And when I was chewing, all the parts of the brain that were so active during spiritual bliss would turn blue, which means low activity. He'd then tell me to stop chewing, and all the parts of my brain that are responsible for feelings of connectedness, feelings of love and empathy, and joy, and absolute ecstasy would turn on. And it was an incredible moment in my life because I'd realized that all the material stuff that I had been chasing had been giving me those feelings for them soon to dissipate. And you see, that's how the marketing machine gets you. They get you hooked. They hack your brain on saying, this is going to change you. This is going to complete your identity. This is going to make you a high value person. And you get it, and other people believe it, and you feel it for a while, and it wears off, and then you get more of it, and your brain gets hooked on that feeling, that dopamine and serotonin release. What I was able to do through pure intention, hard work, and effort was to have that released all the time. And it sounds great, and it was, but what it meant was I could spend 16 hours a day in bed in complete bliss for doing absolutely nothing. And it is actually a stage in your enlightenment, as it were. I'm not really always a fan of that term, but it is a stage because it's still all very personal, and it's still all about me and how I feel. And what you do once you get beyond that is you start to actually move through that, and you get less bothered by that. You start to drop it, and you go to a deeper truth that actually exists way beyond the mind, and it's something within us all. Something I call the inner kingdom. Definitely have neurons in your heart. That's an important piece of the puzzle. But the ever-present spirit within, and it's within everybody. So what you find is that, at that point, you think you're this enlightened person, and everybody else is not enlightened. And as you go deeper and deeper into it, you actually see that there is just one life force through us all. You are it. They are it. Everybody's it, and some people know it more than others. Some people are happier, some people are less happy, some people are more powerful, less powerful, but we're all exactly the same thing. And you can't really understand that intellectually. It's something that you have to experience for yourself. But that is my shout out there to what color is your Bugatti. Those things are also very fun. I think personally, having had all that stuff way, way back, and I actually got rid of it when I realized the next thing I wanted was a Bugatti. And I started to realize, you know what? I'm getting more and more stuff, and I'm feeling less and less satisfied. Now, Andrew Tate might be different because I think he's a little older than I was and a little wiser. I was a very young kid comparatively and had all that stuff. So for me, everybody is different, and I can't generalize. But what color is your brain scan? It's just my little play on that, because what it teaches you is that you can have everything. You can have nothing, but it's about what's going on within. It's about how you feel about it. It's about how you feel about yourself, whether you feel at peace, whether you have a ton of things and you don't really feel like your desires are fulfilled. You need more, 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 more. So yeah, enjoy. I'll post the pictures right underneath this video so you can check it out, and I'll put a little bit of the explanation, all the scientific stuff as well.